This is not only the face of a pathetic grease slime ball, this is also the face of a successful cult leader running a very successful scam through Twitch right now. If you've been on the internet for any length of time, specifically on YouTube, this unsavory face is one you've definitely come across. This is Athene. Of World of Warcraft fame, this man is still just barely around, but he has a very devout following of lunatics, just absolutely fanatical maniacs. These people would lay across a bed of broken glass and molten rocks and let Athene walk over them while he's pissing in their face, and they would be taking that golden shower with a smile and a big thank you. If someone threw a live grenade at Athene, there'd be 100 people scrambling to jump on top of it to protect him. But why am I talking about him? It's not just because I can actually smell him through the computer, it's because I recently talked about cryptocurrency with BitConnect going down and people losing a lot of money, and what Athene is doing is a cryptocurrency scam. It's a Ponzi scheme, and it's even more transparent with how big of a scam it is than BitConnect was. And he plays around with it being a scam with the scam levels on his stream. I guess he does it ironically, I'm not sure. I'm not stupid enough to actually watch his streams. I just look at the clips and I've looked at all the information. So I thought I'd share some of those clips just to piggyback off my cryptocurrency talk.
I almost think you actually believe your own bullshit at this point. You and your greedy friend deserve a shallow grave for everyone to be able to defecate on. Stop trying to scam people. Your cryptocurrency is useless and all you are scheming is classic pump and dump. I feel horrible for any of you subs stupid enough to buy into this bullshit. Real person, I think, you know, I've been scamming a lot. And I would love people, once I die, to take a dump on my grave.
Looks like somebody didn't wait for him to be in the grave. It looks like somebody already took a dump on this man's face. Now, let's back up a little bit. So what he's doing is he's got this bullshit cryptocurrency called Purpose. He's got another one that he just kind of pulled out of his asshole called Doobie. It was created by him and his friend Reese. Reese looks like Danny Sexbang if he was on a heroin bender that never ended and he also never showered. And this dynamic duo of expressed dog anal glands has come together to create this Ponzi scheme. And they're very open and very proud about scamming the dumb people that follow them. They even blatantly say, "We are scamming you," in some of their titles, like this one, "Could all be a scam, lol." They make it very clear, and even if it is all done ironically, would you really want to invest in something that plays around with the idea that they're scamming you, especially when it's run by someone with a reputation like Athene's? And an even bigger red flag, when you invest in it, it says you'll feel euphoric? Come on, euphoric is a dead giveaway to just run far, far away. You can't actually believe that investing in Purpose and Doobie is going to somehow quantumly beam millions of dollars into your bloodstream. Unbelievable. So I'm going to play the next clip here. This one comes from Reese's Feces, just actually talking about taking advantage of the poor suckers that watch him.
See the extent to which we are able to squeeze these poor suckers. You wouldn't believe it, and you're having trouble believing it right now. You're having trouble grasping it right now. But I would just say stick around in the chat for a few days and you will start to see what's really going on. But it takes a while for you to understand that this is exactly what's going on. We really built up this community. We took many years of slowly building up a hardcore base of dumb suckers that happen to have quite some money from rich mummies and daddies or something, and now we're finally cashing in on it. Most of 620k is faked anyway, just to bait retards into donating. Like, you know, you can interpret the scam in many ways. That's another interpretation of it.
If you're still not convinced that your Purpose pencil shavings and your Doobie fart fumes aren't going to be able to buy you a mansion in 2 years, then I'm sorry, there's really no helping you. But if you're hungry for just more insight into exactly what's going on with this scam, there's a beautiful write-up that I'll link to in the comments. I'll play one more short clip from Reese the Grease real quick.
Need proof you make money. I cannot provide proof because it's all fake. It's all a scam. It's all a very multi-layered show. It's like the Truman Show in a way. And you guys are Truman.
Where do I sign up? Now let's toss in one more just to really bring it home, where Athene tries very hard to make it clear it is a scam.
It's all a show in a Fugazi. We promote it that way. Nobody's telling you this is fucking real. Okay, it's a show. Okay, let's say you get scammed. Even if you do get scammed, okay, whatever. You got scammed, okay. I fucking told you guys. It's all a fucking scam. So it's not even an argument. If I go to my viewers, right, and I say, get fucking Purpose and Doobie, you're gonna get scammed, and you get on it, then nobody else, you can't go afterwards to people and say, like, I got scammed, I got scammed. No, it's part of the fucking show, man.
And what a great show it is, Athene, just watching two human catheters talk about a stupid fucking cryptocurrency. However, I do 100% agree with him when he says, you can't be surprised if you get on here when they're telling you it's a scam and you lose your money. No one's gonna have any sympathy for the guy who supports Athene, listens to Athene saying it's a scam, listens to Reese saying it's a scam, and then still says, you know what? I'm throwing $2,000 in there. Bam, kablammy, whammo, blammo, blammo, I'm in it now, baby. You can't fool me. I'm too damn smart. I was able to click all the pictures with a sign in them when I signed up for the Reddit account to confirm I wasn't a robot. I'm overqualified. Where are my millions? If you're gonna do that, it's your fault. I wouldn't blame Athene or Reese either. If you're going to listen to them say it's a scam and still invest, that is on you. But the point is, Twitch shouldn't be allowing this kind of thing to happen on their fucking platform. It's disgusting. Now, it's even more insulting than these two goobers taking advantage of their smegma spelling audience is the fact that Twitch is okay with this. This man's stream has been reported numerous times for scamming the viewers, and Twitch has done nothing. They have done nothing about Athene doing this, so I guess it's okay with Twitch terms of service that you actually scam all of your viewers, are very transparent that you are taking their money, they are getting nothing in return, and the sad Twitch mods will stand by and let it all unfold because they're too busy watching all of their titty streams. Also, just as a little side note, I made two videos on why I don't like Twitch, one being a tit streaming montage, the other being a rant on why I don't stream there. And now I have a man on the inside who has fed me some insider information that the sad, pathetic Twitch mods watched both of those videos, and now I'm basically blacklisted from Twitch. So that's kind of interesting, and I hope they watch this one, and maybe they'll take action, because this man's not even tit streaming. He's not even a popular streamer. I don't know why they would bend the knee to Athene, whose biggest claim to fame was being the best paladin in World of Warcraft. That's not exactly a fearsome foe or a titan on Twitch. This is a man they really should act against. But given Twitch's track record, that is 100% not going to happen. So he'll keep scamming his sad viewers, and this really wasn't a call to arms for anyone that's supporting Athene, because chances are if you are watching Athene streams actively and regularly, you're already a lost cause. But this was more just to piggyback off the talk I had with cryptocurrencies and the danger of them and what's going on and how to be careful. This is just something I wanted to follow up with. So yeah, as always, stay safe, stay soggy, and fuck you, Twitch. Twitter is a remarkable cesspool, but there's never a shortage of interesting things you can find on Twitter, and it pains me to admit, sometimes I'll just be glued to some shit going on Twitter. Today was one of those cases. So for those that don't know, and for those lucky few that don't use Twitter, congratulations first of all, but second of all, you missed out on a fucking classic scam. So today, a lot of big celebrities' Twitter pages were hacked. Bill Gates, Elon Musk, Barack Obama, all of the pages were hacked and posted the same message, which is right here. You know, it is send bitcoins to this wallet and I'll send double the amount of bitcoins back to you. This is a literal RuneScape scam. To anyone that grew up with RuneScape, you will immediately recognize this doubling scam. And it was pulled on the biggest possible stage. I genuinely couldn't believe how popular this was. I saw it when I was on the shitter, and I could feel my asshole smiling. I half expected to scroll down into the comments and see another post from the hackers saying, also, send all of your most expensive clothing to this address and we'll trim it for you for free. You know, just really commit to all the RuneScape scams. For those that don't know, I'm sure all of you know RuneScape scams like free armor trimming and the doubling scam. But the only people that usually fall for that is children, you know, like 14-year-old kids in their first journey into the RuneScape world where they go to the Grand Exchange and they see someone saying, hey, trade me gold and I'll give you double gold back. And as a kid, you trust everyone. You're like, oh, wow, mister, that sounds like a great idea, but just I want to be safe, so you trade them like a small amount, like 10K, and then the scammer has no problem just giving you 20K back and immediately earns your trust. It's like giving you a lollipop before you get into their van. Yeah, you just trusted like, oh, wow, they're legit. Okay, let me give them all of my bank money so I can double this real quick, and then they just take it and run. You know, because you don't recognize that, you know, not everyone's great. Sometimes people just want to fuck you in the mouth. And that's the case on RuneScape when it comes to doubling, and it was just pulled off in the real world to a remarkably successful degree. You can see the transactions that went to the wallet since they publicly posted the wallet. I cut it out in the video here. So if you check the wallet, they made $110,000 off these posts. These aren't children. Children don't have bitcoins. Kids don't even know what cryptocurrency is. They probably think it's just a TikTok dance or some shit. So these aren't kids that got scammed today. These are cryptocurrency hodlers. And I find it super surprising because a lot of people that got into cryptocurrency a couple years ago or even more recently act so intellectually superior to everyone else just because they followed a trend and bought some obscure coins off fucking Polonius or some shit. Oh, is that paper money? Oh, no, there's nothing wrong with that if you're a Neanderthal. The mind of a simpleton. I truly don't think I'll ever understand it. You can keep your dollar bills. I'll stick with my Ripple and Globlin coins. It's cryptocurrency. You wouldn't know what that means. And then today, they just fell victim to the oldest scam in the book. It's fucking crazy. I'd never celebrate someone getting scammed, but how the fuck could you have possibly fallen for a doubling scam? Especially from the accounts of Bill Gates, Elon Musk, and Barack Obama. How can you possibly think that people that wealthy would need you to send your Bitcoin into them so they could send double back? In what universe does that make any sense? On RuneScape, there's kind of an excuse. Because, I mean, you don't know who's on the other end of that keyboard. It really could just be someone looking to do a good deed or some shit. That does kind of happen on RuneScape from time to time. But here, why the fuck would billionaires be asking for the money up front in order to send it back? I just can't wrap my head around who could possibly fall for that. But people did. $110,000 worth of Bitcoin got sent to that fucking address in less than an hour. That's how many people fell for that. And if you look at the replies to it, you can see some really sad stuff. Some really upsetting things from actual people. You can see their account. It's real people saying things like, this is just what I needed. Thank you so much, Bill Gates. This is really going to mean the world. I don't have a whole lot of Bitcoin, but you know, doubling this really will just make such a huge impact for my life. And I really can't thank you enough, Bill. And then he sends that shit in, and obviously he's not getting anything back because you're just fucking paying a scammer. It's the same people that probably fall for telemarketing scams telling you that your computer has a fucking coronavirus on it or something. It's really surprising. And it's Twitter's fault. It's obviously Twitter's fault that this was even allowed to happen and that it persisted for as long as it did. It didn't last for longer than an hour, but even that, it shouldn't have happened in the first place. So I'd like this to serve as a nice little PSA for everyone watching. Don't take everything at face value. Just ask questions like, why would Bill Gates want to double my Bitcoin? And why would I need to pay him first? I think I'll just wait and see how this plays out. People, for some reason, jump at every opportunity and just take everything they see online at face value without doing even the slightest bit of research or, at the very least, thinking about it for more than 5 seconds. I feel like on the internet, everything's like instant gratification. You see something pop up and you have to like it right away. Or you see an opportunity and you have to just jump right on it. Send me your used panties right now and I'll send you $500. And then you go and buy a pair of panties or something to send in. You don't get the money back because obviously they're just huffing the panties for themselves. You just need to just stop taking everything at face value. I think a lot of people learned a very important lesson today, and it was a very expensive one too. It's a fucking shame, and I actually can't believe a doubling money scam just got pulled off in the real world. That's fucking wild. RuneScape economics actually do kind of translate to the real world, it seems. Fucking insane. But anyway, I just wanted to talk about that. That's about it. So yeah. Yeah, I talked about this a couple days ago. So when I watched the speed stream, I got to see most of it as it unfolded. It was so wild. So Speed recently did an entire stream dedicated to shilling a crypto called Paradox Metaverse. It's embarrassing. The whole stream was a disaster. So it started with a PS5 giveaway. So you see all the PS5s behind him, and the whole thing with the giveaway is, you know, give it to the chat. Thanks for supporting Paradox Metaverse to the moon. And Speed would take out a sledgehammer and break the PS5s, which I think is terrible. I think it's a fat L. There's few things as corny as this, just breaking expensive things that people really want, especially in this context where it's kind of just spitting in the face of his fans who thought they had a chance at winning some PS5s. I sent it all to CoffeeZilla right before going live, so a couple hours before, and CoffeeZilla started researching it, and he made this video, he did the interview. It has been so entertaining to see, so now I'm excited to watch the video. I did see that he shouted me out in the comments here for tipping him off, and I got butterflies in my stomach. To be to something like this before CoffeeZilla is crazy. So, happy to help. I also did a ton of research on it. I went deep into the weeds. One of the people behind the crypto scam is a YouTuber named Money Kicks, whose dad is worth like 2.1 billion. So, I mean, it has so many layers. It's such an interesting little rabbit hole.
Advertising 10x to 100x, is that a get-rich-quick scheme? Yes or no?
No.
He did them so much credit there because talking to them was like hitting your head against a wall. So he'd ask them a point-blank question, and they do the standard circular talk around it forever. And no matter how many times Coffee would be like, yes or no, they'd still just go into their spiel about shit that is completely irrelevant to whatever they're saying. It was frustrating, but still overall entertaining.
Who couldn't play soccer and was wearing a Buy Paradox Crypto Coin t-shirt. And it quickly
So
got worse.
good.
The live chat started calling Paradox Coin a scam in the middle of this sponsored
So I looked into this a little bit. This guy has made an entire career off looking like Cristiano Ronaldo. So he was in another YouTuber's video from a few years back called the Cristiano Ronaldo prank. And they just walked him around with security and got people's reactions.
a Buy Paradox Crypto Coin t-shirt. And it quickly got worse. The live chat started calling Paradox Coin a scam in the middle of this sponsored stream and called IShowSpeed a sellout, which caused him to get very angry.
The fact y'all ever make, like, Chad, the fact that y'all just sticking me like that is just crazy. I hate that, bro. Y'all so weird, bro.
It's crazy.
He also tried to guilt trip the fans because there was a lot of donos coming through like that were like, this is a scam, Speed. You have to know this is a scam. And be like, why are you guys saying that? You're hurting my feelings. The fact you think of me like that makes me really upset. And you know I would never do that to you guys. It's just, you're making me really sad right now. Just guilt tripping them. He's like, I just want to see W's in the chat. No more L's. No more of that. Just W's in the chat. Only mods. Only W's. It was fucking embarrassing. Shameless. Now, yeah, it is important to remember Speed himself is a kid. He is 17, and people keep using that as an excuse. And I think to some level, that's fine, because he should have people around him that are able to sniff out scams like this. But Speed also clearly knew what he was doing. The audio in here that leaked because he didn't mute all of the mics so it got picked up pretty much confirms that he knew this was kind of shady shit to begin with. He is not 19. He says he's 19. He is 17. He was born in 2005. He is a minor. He is a kid. It is a meme that he says he's 19. We double-checked last night. He is born in 2005. He's 17. But his team around him is clearly not actually looking out for him, for allowing him to do shit like this and be used. I'd like to come in here and further clarify that I'm not saying everything that happened is excusable because he's a kid. He still, of course, bears the responsibility and at the end of the day has the final say in what he does and what he promotes. So he should be doing at least the bare minimum to have an understanding of what's going on and what he's actually promoting. Because even during the stream, he couldn't even remember the name of the company like twice. Which, of course, made the chat turn against him, saying things like sellout and I show scammer. So I do absolutely think that he needs to pay more attention to this kind of shit. And he also needs people around him on his team that are old enough to rent a car and actually have experience in life that can look at things like this, go through it, and then decide if it's legitimate or not, and then relay that information to him. Because right now, it doesn't seem like he has that team. From the look of things, he's got a bunch of people around him that just care about money, like Mr. Krabs here. So it leads to absolute catastrophes like this. And I do think that at the end of the day, Speed did get used here. He was exploited by this shady, shitty crypto company to shill their dog shit. But that doesn't mean that Speed is blameless in this situation here, even though he is a kid.
And that is the fact that all these teenagers and kids called this guy out. I mean, just think about it. The target of most crypto scams is gullible people. And who's more gullible than kids and teenagers? So when those people see right through your scam...
You know who's more gullible than kids and teenagers is adults who think they're early. I would wager the most gullible people on the planet are like the mid-20s people on the cusp of what they think is new technology or anything that will make them money. I think those are the most gullible people. You see that all the time from the crypto community. Hey, can someone recover my NFTs? I clicked on a link in my emails talking about minting new boof tokens. And now all of a sudden my whole NFT collection's gone. I think I got fished. Any help? Like, you never hear the end of that shit. I think they are much more gullible than kids. 100%.
The only problem is he forgot to fully mute the mic.
So what do I do now? Oh, they're spending hell stealing.
Now, before we get to the rest of this audio of Speed exposing the scam, let's talk about Paradox Coin, the thing he's promoting. How do we know this is a scam anyways? Well, I checked out their website to learn more, where they call themselves the future of gaming.
To answer that question, how do we know this is a scam in the first place? I think every crypto project should be guilty until proven innocent. If any crypto startup comes around, you should assume it's a scam until they prove otherwise. That is the safest way of navigating the crypto space.
Is that they're not one thing. The Paradox Metaverse is actually 7 things, each one possibly dumber than the last. And I'm going to explain them. So first up is the Paradox game, which has graphics out of the PS2 era, which made me wonder why they'd be giving away PS5 and trying to make your games look worse by comparison. But it gets even crazier because I spoke to the founders and they called their game AAA quality. And I took issue with that.
It's pretty close. It is actually, this is up there with like the new Saints Row, Crackdown 3 maybe? Like it's not far off. Also, from what I was reading, they used a lot of stock assets. So and I don't know this for sure because I'm not familiar with all the stock assets available. But that would mean that they're not even like actually building it ground up or anything like that, or even trying. They're just asset flipping like the shit we play on Steam Bad Game Night. I'm not 100% sure on that though. I was just reading about it.
When you describe yourself as an indie game.
No, I don't want to interrupt you, but just give me.
You are interrupting me. Of course you are. You don't call yourself an indie game.
That shit got dank quick. Yeah, that's a lot of what happened in the live stream. They just immediately just start flooding like a Xbox Live party chat. Whenever he's trying to like call out something, they immediately just flood. So much. It's like a wall of noise.
A UK-based indie gaming studio. Indie studio.
So yeah, I'm not buying this AAA.
Comments are turned off on that video, by the way. Nothing shows confidence in a project quite like turning off the feedback on the announcement in the trailer.
And once you do that, you have to wait 24 hours before starting another mission. I guess if you do that full time, they estimate you make $500 a week based on 4 hours a day of playing. Wait, I thought...
God, I love that. So the whole thing tries to prey on people like play to earn is the term. So you play our game and you earn money. So like, yeah, you'll come in, you'll, you know, invest or whatever, but you're earning money through playing this game and doing our missions with our paracoins. But it's all just worthless nonsense dog shit. It's not real.
Playing. Wait, you can rent out your avatar to someone else for paracoins and passive income. Okay, so now you have paracoins, right? What are you gonna do with them? Well, you can sell them, but why sell them when you can lock them up and stake them for, get this, even more paracoins? If you do this, your paracoins turn into P-Save, which then you lock up for a period. Sorry. The longer you lock up your money, the more you earn in a process they call delay and get paid. Sure, I guess.
Fuck?
Now, if you want to understand how this entire staking process works, their flowchart.
That's a head scratcher.
Even more confused. Here it is, and instead of explaining it, I'm going to label all of this Ponzi nonsense. This.
Well, let's not write it off too quickly. Let me take a peek here at the old flowchart. Staking process. Para used for P-Save. Para distributed. Para used in purchase for the staking protocol. Staking pool, which goes into the initial stake withdrawing from pool and getting rewarded with paracoins. And now your stake is complete. Easy. But now staking pool and the funds dip below 50. A conditional mint comes in. And then, what the fuck? It's all simple, honestly.
There's 7 more. So if you're not a gamer, they also give you other schemes you can get involved in. For example, there's the Paradox DAO, where you can stake PDAO coins to earn up to 10% a year in returns. And if that's not your thing, you can try the Paradox Pad, where they promise
so many options
to 100x multiples if you invest. Okay.
They made a bet here with CoffeeZilla, where they said they would change their name to CoffeeZilla if Paradox Meta didn't open to 20 to 30 bucks, and it opened to 10 cents. Here. So they didn't even get the full pump and dump. So this is where that bad girl kicked off. And here's their bet.
I'll make this deal with you right here, right now. I'll make this deal with you right here, right now.
Okay.
Our coin launches and it doesn't do a minimum 20 to 30 or... I will change my name to Coffee.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, I don't even know what your channel's called. What's the channel called?
Dip? Something? I don't know.
CoffeeZilla.
CoffeeZilla. I will change my name to CoffeeZilla. I'll make this deal.
Unfortunately, he didn't do it. He didn't change his fucking name. I haven't checked today, though. Maybe it did hit 20 bucks. Let's take a peek. It's now at 9 cents. I can't believe it. What? Man, I can't believe it didn't go to $20 or $30. Crazy. Criminal, even. Is nobody playing their game at the moment? It's the goddamn World of Warcraft killer on those battlegrounds.
Up to 20% on staking rewards, all right? Now, if all of that sounds dumb, you can even get your friends to invest too. Every person you get gets £5. Okay, whoop-de-doo. Now, the last one we're gonna cover is Paradox Events, which to realize is a waste of money.
This is the only way to get rich in 2022 without starting up a business from scratch. For every person that you refer to Anya University, you get £15.
Now, I confronted...
God, I hate that so fucking much. That it's one of my biggest gripes, those guru programs. And people, for some reason, buy in and then fight tooth and nail for them. You just train your own little warriors, your own little cult.
No, I think saying that this is the only way you're going to get rich is wrong.
People don't get rich on affiliate programs?
No,
People don't make a living with
it's not the
No.
only, you say, I found the only way to get rich.
But also, no.
Knowledge.
I would be so curious if there is anyone that has ever got rich from affiliate programs. I would be shocked. Like, not... Obviously, at the top level, affiliate programs are great for the gurus. They make millions. I'm talking like a normal, just random person. Yes, I am a career affiliate promoter. I bring people to this goober's university for money. And now I own 5 Ferraris in this garage.
I'm doing a bit of businesses. We've done, alhamdulillah, we've done all right. Very good. Now we're just celebrating life in the sense, you know,
life is step by step, you know, thank
100%,
God.
100%.
Wait, how's Money Kicks talking about life is step by step?
You don't understand,
What was your
Coffee.
step 1? Being the son of a billionaire? What?
You
what
don't
was
get
your
it.
step
You just
2?
don't get
like
it.
At that point, is he just talking to people like, hey, have you tried step 1 yet? Now, this is the whole crew.
Yeah, he was just, again, born rich. Dad's a billionaire. Yeah, the video he's showing is this one as well. So Money Kicks posted this right before the speed stream. Oh my god, he took it down. Okay, unlucky. Okay, I guess I should have saved it. It was spending a day with a crypto billionaire and I show speed. That was the clip that he got it from. But yeah, it was a rough video. It was rough.
So that's just what it sounds like to me, and apparently to a lot of children and teenagers. So I think it's probably gonna flop. But now that you understand what Paradox is, it's time to go back to I Show Speed, trying to keep his chat from figuring out what's going on.
All right, so look, it's cool now. Relax. Yo, relax. Why listen to chat? You see no more scams. Trust me.
The microphone.
I know. I'm just trying to make. No. Bro, you know what I'm doing, bro.
Oof.
I'm not gonna say that, but then it's gonna be obvious, bro.
Yeah, I think it's a little too late for that.
Stop spamming. I'm not a scammer, bro. Why they keep spamming? Bro, I'm not a scammer, dog. I made a little mistake, you know, that I wish I never did, but I'm not a scammer, bro.
Now, at the very least, Speed apologized in the very next stream and looks like he cut ties with everything. So, this was pre-sale. They didn't go live on that day, I don't think. I think they went live yesterday. So, hopefully, no one in his audience lost any money on it. But what an absolutely reputational nuke he took there. Fucking bit a fat L, unfortunately. No one decided to do any level of thinking about that partnership there. But yeah, this Ronaldo impersonator moment was so special. It was so fucking good. They bring in the Ronaldo impersonator, play it off like the real Ronaldo, so they hyped it up for a long time. They're like, if we get enough Paradox Metaverse to the moon in the chat, we'll bring out something special. Go follow the Twitter, go follow the Twitter, here's the Twitter, go follow it. And they got 2,000 followers. They're like, oh fuck, that just unlocked it. Turn around, Speed, close your eyes. We got a special surprise for you. Guess in the chat who it's gonna be. And then Paradox Metaverse to the moon. And they bring out fake Ronaldo. They bring out Chris Orlando here. And they all play it off like it's the real Ronaldo. And almost immediately in the chat, people are like, what the fuck? That's not Ronaldo. It was quite an obvious joke. Not to everybody, though. In fact, if you go on Twitter right now, Speed posted a picture with the impersonator. There are still so many of his fans that think he met the real Ronaldo, and they were reflecting on this stream, and like, it was great to see Ronaldo socialize with you like that, and he knows who you are because he did one of Speed's things. They're like, holy shit, Ronaldo actually knows who you are. So there are a lot of them that really believed it was the real deal. They were trolling. You like to think that, but I just don't believe it. You have to remember, a lot of his audience is kids as well. It's of course important to mention that during the stream they do eventually drop it and reveal it's not the real Ronaldo, it's an impersonator. It's not Cristiano Ronaldo, it's Christopher Rowland. But I think a lot of the kids only focused on the part that went viral, which was Speed's reaction to meeting Ronaldo, where he's yelling and screaming and shit and hugging him. So a lot of them still, to this day, believe that he actually has met Ronaldo because of this moment. Why did he destroy the PS5s? He thought it'd be comedic? I don't know. That was bad. Like, even before all the crypto shit started, they led with the PS5 stuff and he was breaking it and immediately turned chat against him. I don't know why you'd ever do that. I hate that shit. That was a trend back in like 2009 or whatever, whenever the PS3 came out. Going to GameStop, midnight release for PS3 and breaking it. And it was always so fucking douchey. And it is still douchey to this day. Why? I don't know, man. They must have thought that it was a good joke. I don't watch a ton of Speed streams, I'll be the first to admit. I am familiar with him to some level, but it's just not my cup of tea. I'm sure most of you know I'm not really big into the really loud equals entertaining stuff, and that's mainly his brand, so it's just not for me. So I don't know what the breaking PS5s was for. Maybe because it makes a loud noise or it's destructive, shocking. I don't know. The fake Ronaldo came out on TikTok and said they specifically asked him not to say a word or they wouldn't pay him. This isn't what I was talking about.
What are you? Like, are you like Ronaldo brother? Like, chat, who is this guy?
And the resub Fuzzy and Abby and Phony. Yep, that's that whole situation. Pretty wacky stuff. We're only 9 days into 2023, and I feel like we've already reached a point where scams have become more common than the cold. I just can't believe that there are still people that are falling for crypto scams in particular. It has to be the same people just doing it over and over again and not learning their lesson. Like that bit from every cartoon ever where someone steps on a rake and it hits them in the face, they turn around and step on another rake and it hits them in the face. That's people with crypto scams and losing money. just going back and forth, ping-ponging around, getting spit roasted by every shady crypto company ever until they're completely out of money, and then blame it on something else besides themselves to avoid taking any level of accountability and responsibility for their reckless actions. The reason I'm talking about this isn't because of what you think it is. Of course, Logan Paul and Crypto0 is the biggest scam right now that's been exposed and has been being talked about by everyone, including me. But there have been a handful of other high-profile scams that have all come out, but they've all fallen into the cracks, into the shadows, because Crypto0's been kind of like this bullet sponge, taking all the heat for the others so that way they can die a quiet death without anyone discussing it or making a hoopla. But hoopla is my middle name. So I'm going to come in here and make a scene out of it. I'm going to shine a light on it because there's one in particular that I'd like to talk about today that I haven't really seen anyone go over. And this is once again an influencer-led crypto scam, but it goes bigger than just one project. This was multiple, and the creator came out and said that he gambled away all of the funds. He has a gambling addiction, and all of the investors' money went to him gambling it. They say honesty is the best policy, and in this case, I'm glad he came forward with that information. But man, you absolutely need to be held accountable for this shit. This was a high-profile, blatant scam where you mishandled every investor's money and everyone lost all of it. That's a crime. That's just like an actual financial crime. So we'll go over it from the top, but I gotta tell you, it really is incredible just how frequent these scams are now. It's worse than RuneScape right now. RuneScape has less scams than the real world at the moment. It's wild. Now, usually I like to think this goes without saying, but I'm going to make a special exception here and just say it anyway. Please don't go and harass this guy for all of this. He does need to be held accountable, but the right way by the right organizations, and the people that were actually affected, the victims, are the ones that should be coming forward to hold him accountable. Not just like a giant mob with pitchforks after him on Twitter or Twitch or whatever. I don't usually even bother giving this warning because I think there's a level of trust between us. You know, we're like family, only closer. Like, we're related by something far stronger than blood. Content. So, please don't harass this person. Just wanted to make that clear. Their name is DNP3. Now, I'm not familiar with DNP3, and I wasn't until this whole situation. From everything I can see, this is a streamer slash content creator whose entire brand was giveaways. He has over 600,000 followers on Twitter, 250k on Twitch, and over 100k on YouTube, so these are pretty big numbers, but it seems like they're heavily inflated because all he seems to do is giveaways, which is basically a real-world cheat code where you just, you know, hey, like, follow, retweet in order for a chance to win $100. Make sure to follow the stream and you might win 500 bucks, this and that. It's like a really fast growth strategy, but it doesn't have any real viewer retention or audience. People just treat you like a little money block in Mario where they can just keep jumping up and hitting coins out of it because you're frequently doing giveaways, but they're not really a fan of you. It's just people that are treating you like a giveaway fleshlight that they can fuck from time to time. So he used these giveaways to get these big numbers, which in turn conveys the idea that this person is more popular than they are and more trustworthy because bigger number, better person kind of mentality. So they use this to then platform these crypto coins, NFTs, these projects, and a lot of people bought into it, trusting that surely this guy's so well off he wouldn't be scamming us, which is a tale as old as time. People falling for that old idea. It's like my father always said, just because someone seems well off doesn't mean they won't suck a fart out of your butt. You can't be getting bewitched by this perceived popularity and think that they're automatically a trustworthy person. Now that I've kind of set the stage on who DNP3 is, let's see his statement on what he's done. It's a twit longer. It says, "I'm sorry. There's no easy way to deliver this news, and this is by far one of the toughest messages I've ever had to deliver in my life. Over the last year, I got incredibly addicted to gambling. Every dollar I could find, I would put into stake in hopes of winning big. More people have lost money on stake than they have in the fucking stock market, it seems. Even when the big wins did happen, it wasn't enough. Eventually I lost everything in addition to my own life savings. I also irresponsibly used investor funds to try and get my money back from the casino, which was wrong for so many reasons. To all my friends, family, and everyone who believed in me, I'm so deeply sorry. There aren't words to describe the level of shame and guilt I feel, and I can no longer live in this dark world, and this is my attempt to break free. I am now completely broke, both financially and spiritually. My sense of trust in myself is compromised. I'm working with a help group to start the path to recovery. I'll create a separate tweet which will have next steps for each of the projects I was involved in, including Clue, Xenia, Gridcraft, and Goobers." That sounds like a Lion, the Witch, and the Wardrobe kind of book title right there. Grid crafting goobers. Like, good lord. They're two separate projects. I can get into that in a little bit, but one's an NFT and the other's just another crypto cash grab. I'm sorry that I betrayed your trust. I'm sorry that I did not live up to my values of integrity. I'm sorry that I let you all down. I'm sorry. The projects that he's listed here aren't small by any means. We're talking millions and millions of dollars that he gambled away. Now, I want to just go ahead and take a look at what I think is the biggest one, at least based on what I've seen, and that's KlueCoin. So I took a bit of a dive onto their website, and let's see what we got. And it is the most generic shitcoin imaginable, just unapologetic and shameless. This is probably copy and pasted from 1,000 other shitcoins websites. Together we can change the world. Yeah, I'm sure by purchasing these imaginary schmoobles, it'll all of a sudden change the world. It's just once again a cash grab, and there's DNP3 right there as the founder and CEO. Now, if you want to look at the graph, it's tragic, and it's, as you'd expect, an absolutely colossal failure. Everyone's money lost. And DNP3 gambled all of it, most of it, I suppose. To me, even if he didn't gamble these funds, you were going to lose them anyway. It's a goddamn shitcoin. The inevitable fate of putting money into a shitcoin is that all of it vanishes as if it never existed in the first place. So I feel like no matter what, if you put money into any of these projects, it was going to go poof right down the shitter at some point anyway. It just so happened that the person behind it is even shadier than I would have ever expected, and he's just openly taking the mask off and letting you all know that he took your money and gambled it, and he's saying it right to your face. We can also trace back where the addiction started, it seems. Go back to the genesis. Oh man, I used to watch all your streams and I really didn't notice your addiction. I thought it was just fun for you. Really sad to read these words. I hope you can find some clarity, dude. Stay in peace with yourself and your family. DNP3 responds saying, started with a sponsored stream and unleashed an addiction I never knew I had. That's very interesting. So it seems the patient zero to this disease happened to be a crypto casino itself that sponsored one of his streams and threw him deep into the rabbit hole of gambling addiction. It's crazy. These crypto casinos have claimed more souls than Shang Tsung. They really get their fangs in you, it seems. Because this is not the first story, far from it, from these new crypto casinos that are sprouting up everywhere. Gambling addiction is really popping off these days. It seems like as there's more access to this kind of shit, more people are getting hooked on it. Addiction in any of its forms is bad, but gambling addiction is a super serious and scary one. Now, having that kind of real addiction doesn't excuse anything DNP3 did here. Far from it. It's still very much his fault, his responsibility, but it is sad that he's been struggling with a gambling addiction. But it's even sadder for all the victims that he stole money from to gamble, the millions that he used to gamble. That's what's more sad than the addiction itself, is the people that were affected by it because of him. What really rubbed me the wrong way about his twit longer is he says all of these things and they're sad and it seems like he's trying to farm a little sympathy, but at no point does he offer any kind of action to help people that have been affected by his reckless gambling. He doesn't have any plan to get their money back. He doesn't have any idea on what to do to help the victims be made whole again. And I think that's one of the most important components that he needs to address. Okay, so you fucked up, you've gambled all of their money away. Well, now what? How are you going to help all of the people that you've betrayed? So yeah, that's kind of where the story's at right now. This is a rather new development. It's only a few days old, so the story's still being written here. We'll see how everything keeps playing out. But yeah, just another awful scam situation. I'm hoping the investors get their money back somehow. I don't know how, but hoping that they get their funds returned in a giant refund or something. But anyway, just wanted to bring this up. That's about it. See ya. YouTuber apology videos are always highly entertaining, but I've got something especially wacky for you today. It's not an apology. This is a YouTube response video from the head of a crypto company that recently found itself in some hot water after the iShowSpeed stream from earlier this week. For those that don't know, iShowSpeed is a huge YouTuber who did an entire stream earlier this week dedicated to shilling for a very shady crypto company called Paradox Metaverse. Since then, Speed has apologized, called it a big mistake, and wants to move on and learn from the experience. And I'm not here to tell you how to feel about all of that. That's up to you. I'm not Speed's PR manager or anything, and I'm not really here to talk about Speed. I'm here to talk about that company because the head of it made a response to all of this, and he just pooped out the shittiest shit I've ever seen in my life. It is terrible. This grown-ass man sat down to whine and cry about all of the people calling it a scam just being trolls and bots. He blamed the entire thing on like a cyber terrorist attack from bots trying to bring down his company. Or if they weren't bots, they were trolls that were influenced by the bots calling it L scam. And then he provides no evidence to prove that it's not a scam, and instead just says, if we were a scam, why are we still here? We wouldn't be here if it was still a scam. If this was a rug pull, why hasn't it been rugged yet? He then issues a Galaxy Brain challenge to everyone to find a part in that stream where he said it was a scam, where he admitted it was a scam. And since you can't find a spot where he said it's all a scam, then it can't be a scam, obviously. Checkmate. I'm not even kidding. This is actually points that he's making in his fucking response video. It is so embarrassing. Where's their response video, though? I don't see that anywhere on here. That'd also be a really bad idea for them to post that publicly.
43 minutes into the video, we had on average 40,000 viewers.
That's just speed.
Comments-wise, we had around 5 to 10,000 comments. We had 2 huge spikes. The first one being when we introduced fake Ronaldo into the stream. 3 minutes.
What does that have to do with anything? He's going to make the claim that these 2 spikes... Fuck, where'd they go? He's going to make the claim that these 2 spikes were when bots came in to say L scam. But what he fails to realize is the reason there's these spikes is because more people decided to type L scam when they realized how shady, shitty, and dog shit this whole thing was. It's not bots. These clowns have been very vocal about it being bots that were saying scam. Nobody else, everyone else loved it. Like the actual people with a pulse, they loved it. Everyone saying that it was a scam is a bot. They can't wrap their head around, no, people just realized it was a fucking scam.
We had 2 huge...
So that's why he's showing that, because he's going to make that claim.
We are just as much of a fan of Aisha's speech. No comments suggesting that we are a scam. It was just W's in the chat all the way around. What happened next?
That's just because of speed. Again, the reason there were W's in the chat is because it was a speed stream. And everyone spams W's in the chat for speed. But the more that you went on about Paradox Metaverse, the more obvious it became that this is all just shilling for a dogshit crypto scam. So then people started saying, L scam. You started making calls to action for Paradox Metaverse to go follow the Twitter account, playing the game. So it made people more aware of it, and then starting to type more for it.
It's caught us all by surprise. This is when the first cyber attack happens.
It's not a fucking cyber attack. Holy shit, this guy's talking like Jack Bauer at CTU.
After the 4-minute attack, all the comments went down, as you can see here. Guys, this is very unusual. It's clear to see that he was botted.
You know what else would cause a spike like this? Let's say Speed went on stream, everything's normal like this, and then he fucking beat a man to death in cold blood. There would be this huge spike then too, and it wouldn't be bots. It would people say, holy shit, what the fuck? L Speed? Murder? Like, it'd have a spike then too. The reason the spike happened is because you had more egregious calls to action like following the Twitter, so people started putting out that it is a fucking scam and this is shady.
It's clear to see that he was botted.
No, Christ.
That anybody that was watching that live stream, they started falling for it. They started thinking, okay, somebody knows something we don't. So started pushing out the narrative that this
is so embarrassing. Even as like a Paradox buyer, like the community for Paradox Meta, you have to see this and you have to be having your red flags go off. Like this has to trigger your own red flags to see that your CEO is so weak and so insecure that he's writing these things off as bots in pure delusion and cope, calling it an attack. Like, in the crypto space, you have to be smarter than that. Like, you would know the bare minimum about how shit works. What he should have done is just say, the Speed audience wasn't ready for it, they didn't see the vision, so they all thought it was a scam. And you know what? We missed the mark. Now they all think we're a scam. But we're not. But he's not doing that. Instead, he's placating. He's putting this on some invisible enemy that doesn't exist. It's not bots. Now he just looks really weak to even his own community. He looks so insecure.
Actually decided, you know what? This is actually funny. Let's troll the person we look up to the most, that we tune into every single day.
The guilt trip.
Entertains us for free.
A classic.
Doesn't ask for anything in return. Guys,
Please listen very carefully, it's very important.
Our crypto exchange is worth $40 billion and has sent us a picture saying, why is I shall see comment saying scam coin? $40 billion. We spent $10 million on this project and every single person in the comment is saying scam coin because we are getting botted. Please do something, we're going to lose. Listen, Twitter giveaway.
Guys, what you have just heard is the aftermath of being completely botted. Scam. $10 million of my hard-earned money that I've worked so hard for.
What is that even supposed to prove? You still believing it's bots, refusing to accept the reality of things, that people see through this garbage. Like, this doesn't prove anything on your innocence. It doesn't. All this proves, and if you played it longer, is that you asked Speed to shut it down. You asked if he could disable the chat. So you're taking away the people's voice. Which makes you look bad and goes against your fucking stances on things. Like, if you played it further. Like, it doesn't prove anything anyway, even if you take out that part. It is not evidence. It's nothing. It's literally nothing.
Into this project, into this business. And the fact that I'm going to lose it all because everybody is labeling it a scam.
Yeah, well, at least you still have your stupid fucking university. Like, you have plenty of other scams that you can hustle on too, man. Like, you don't need your sob story. 10 million to you is nothing. You made a whole video with money kicks showing off your rented car collection. Like, you have plenty of money. Like, you're got a ton of other ventures that I'm sure you can pull from.
At no point did anyone say we are going to scam anyone. Anyone with half a brain cell can see this with their own eyes.
Yeah, anyone with half a brain cell can see that just by looking at our product real quick and seeing all 7 of our companies that promise things like $500 a day and 10 to 100x returns. Oh, and also the same guy who can't follow through on his bet, where you bet that the Paradox meta will open to at least like 20 or 30, and if it doesn't, you're changing your name to CoffeeZilla. It opened to 9 cents, and you didn't change your name to CoffeeZilla. But here, let's take a peek at the game that you were so proud of. Man, that really does look like something that is the future and has a lot of work put into it, using so many assets, so many fucking standard packages in the what is this, the Unreal Store? I can't remember. Yeah, wow, this really does look like a lot going on here. Something that could absolutely be thrown together in a matter of minutes. And a game that I'm sure we've probably played before on Steam Indie New Release Night when we go through shitty games. They're called asset flips. There's nothing here that screams, whole team, passion project, we're in it for the long haul with this project.
And what was the label? I Show Speed promotes crypto scam.
Yep.
Guys.
He did.
Listen to the audio yourself. Go over it again and again. Mention to us once when we said we are going to scam people.
That's such a non-point. We never said it on that stream, so it can't be true. Prove that we said it's going to be a scam. Do it, pussy. Where did I say it's a scam? Anywhere during that stream.
Is the person you want to label a scam, or is it that you just want to associate I Show Speed with a scam? This is cancel culture at its finest.
Oh, hitting all the buzzwords, all the boo-hoos, the cancel culture. Don't launch a shitty, shady crypto. It's that simple. Your crypto, your Paradox meta has like 7 components, all of which make no fucking sense and are literally just actual dog shit.
He was not getting done. Everything that was getting done in front of your eyes, no one had an issue with up until we got spammed.
And that's actually not true. The smashing, like, you're already wrong. The smashing of the PlayStation 5's gotten a huge influx of L speeds. Chat immediately turned against him with the smashing of the PlayStation 5's. So, I mean, you're just not even right there either. It wasn't just L scam, it was L speed for smashing PlayStation 5's.
There was no evidence, there was no substance. If we was a scam, why would we still be here?
These are such non-points. If we were a scam, we'd be in jail right now. We wouldn't even be allowed here right now if we were a scam.
How is this fair? Here's a video. We're going to play the video. This video is in...
Is it mine?
Crying every single day, in tears every single day. But he still manages to continue with his live stream. Just to please his fans. And you guys took it upon yourselves to think it's funny to just troll people. You guys don't understand the stuff that comes after this trolling. On camera, everyone has to smile. Nobody can show other people their fears. Off camera, could you imagine what he's going through? Because we do. We know exactly what's going on.
You're not his fucking friend. He already threw you to the wolves. Why are you still sucking his dick? Speed, like straight up said, yeah, this was a mistake. Like, he at the very least has moved on and said, yep, that was bad. Yeah, that was bad. And yet here you are like, oh, we are there. We are holding him in our laps as he is crying profusely, uncontrollably, because of what you guys have done to him.
He is not ready for what the world is accusing him of. And he doesn't know how to respond. So I'm taking it upon myself to respond on his behalf.
Oh, this is so sad now. You staked the rug pull on a 17-year-old's audience. It didn't pan out. He has now wiped his ass with your whole company, and you are still here begging for that audience to accept you by pretending like things are, like, close between you two. Yikes, that's embarrassing. Jesus Christ, man, have some shame.
Please stop this, hate. It takes very little to just be nice. Rather than just...
Calling out a scam isn't just needless cancel culture hate. That's just not what it is. This is so sad. This is so fucking sad. This is a grown man. This is a very, very wealthy grown man.
You can see, us as founders, we do not even have access to our own tokens.
I literally don't think there's enough numbers that exist to show how many claims have been made exactly like that, only for them to get rugged. Everyone that bought in. That is the #1 claim that every crypto makes. No, founders are fully out there, very transparent. They don't even hold any. And they couldn't even get in there if they wanted to. In fact, we have protocols in place to prevent that from happening. And then bang, rug pull. Every single time. Like clockwork. Literally every single time. Still my favorite to this day, there was a Twitter account called War on Rugs, which was a Twitter account dedicated to showcasing and warning people of rug pulls in the crypto space. And then eventually, they rugged their own community. So they had their own coin as well. And eventually War on Rugs was like, yep, we're taking. So they made off with millions, and they made a post saying, you guys should stop blindly trusting people like this. And still, people buy into shit like that. It's crazy. That is a nothing claim. Everything he has said so far is actually nothing. He's provided no evidence to prove that it's not a scam. He has provided nothing other than trying to guilt people and saying that it's all just bad faith trolling.
We'll make sure we'll see you guys on the moon.
Nice, that's so huge. That was awful, holy fuck. That was a big one. What a masterclass in how to say absolutely nothing. Nah, part 2 might clear up everything. Even burning their founders' tokens they can't even cash out for a whole year. That shows passion and confidence in the project being 10,000, 100,000% legit. Oh, fuck me. I hope that's a bot. I hope that's not a real person. Yikes. Oh, fucking yikes. The comments aren't really on his side either. I really do wonder what the Paradox community thinks of a move like this, but I'm not going into their Discord to find out. Usually it's just a lot of people convincing themselves of absolute nonsense in order to believe that they can make money off of it, and then when it doesn't happen they just pretend like, oh, they just got fooled by someone who was just too smart, even though the writing was on the wall right in front of their face the entire time. Everything he said is things thousands of scams in the space have said before him. He just copied their playbook. Who is the biggest joke in all of sports? Some people might argue the Washington Generals, which is the team that the Harlem Globetrotters always play against. They travel together and the Harlem Globetrotters always win against them, because the Generals are just there to have fun with the Globetrotters in order to make a spectacle out of the whole thing. They're kind of designed to lose. But they're not the biggest joke in sports. That honor belongs to one man in particular. His name is Dylan Dennis. This goofball is someone you might have heard of because he's that coward that started a lot of shit with KSI, and then the second that it reached the fuck around and find out moment, like a week before they were actually supposed to fight, Dylan Dennis backs out and weasels his way out of it, coming up with all kinds of pathetic little excuses, and then still tries to act tough. He's a washed up fighter who all he does now is just shit talk and then promote scams on Twitter. People have more respect for the flies that hover around public porta potties at a fucking music festival than they do this man and his career. And yet somehow he finds a way to sink even lower. He was recently the primary clown in CoffeeZilla's newest video, where he got used like a fleshlight by CoffeeZilla in order to prove a point that Dylan Dennis will promote absolutely anything at all as long as you pay him. And it turns out you don't even really have to pay him that much, all things considered. Just giving him a pack of cigarettes will get you like a 24-hour tweet promoting whatever vile scam you want. Like, it's actually pretty wild. So CoffeeZilla's video exposes at least 20 scams that he's done in his past, as well as convincing him to do yet another one, you know, hop back in the saddle, get ready for the rodeo, and engage in another scam tweet that CoffeeZilla cooked up with a completely fake crypto project. And he wanted to see how much does Dylan charge, and does he do any amount of research at all into the things that he proudly posts on his Twitter. I know Dylan Dennis can't even spell research, so the answer isn't shocking. It's a no. He didn't bother looking into what CoffeeZilla was paying him to promote at all, because if he did, if he spent even 3 seconds, or even just like an iota of a thought given to the project, he would have immediately realized that it's not real and it is a scam that he's about to post proudly on his Twitter. Because CoffeeZilla laid it all out in front of him. And it's not even like it was hidden in plain sight or anything. He literally spelled it out, word for word, in a contract he sent to Dylan Dennis. It even says that it's not real and you're going to be the butt of a joke. It was literally, it was just there in the contract. And it wasn't even a long contract like buried in fine print. It was like a core piece of the contract that just says, this is basically a fucking scam. And Dylan still signed it. It's baffling. So I'm getting ahead of myself here. I'm just trying to give a general breakdown of the situation. Of course, the full CoffeeZilla video is going to be linked in the description. It's fucking beautiful per usual. I'm just going to show you some clips from it. But one other thing I want to point out is the reason CoffeeZilla went after Dylan Dennis is because Dylan made a whole song and dance, a big hoopla about how bad he feels for everyone that got scammed by Logan Paul's Crypto Zoo. And that's what tipped everyone off to how many scams he himself has done, which led to this investigation in this video by CoffeeZilla, Oompaville, and Zach XBT. And it's a fucking amazing ride. It really is.
Dylan Dennis is an MMA fighter famous for 2 things: cage fighting and not fighting KSI.
True.
But on December 23rd, he decided to be famous.
Also, apparently, I didn't know this until recently. He's not even famous for actually fighting. He's famous for just being a guy that, like, kind of rides Conor McGregor's dick. What's his actual fighting record? Because I said the same thing. I'm like, yeah, he actually fights. But his actual MMA record is 2-0. He has fought 2 times. Once in 2018 and once in 2019. Look at this shit. So he's not really a fighter. he's fought twice. Like, his whole claim to fame is, yeah, I'm a fucking stupid asshole. And that's it. And he won't even fight a YouTuber. 100% win rate, that is true. He is undefeated. But then again, so am I in MMA, to be fair. I am also undefeated. It's kind of meaningless when you don't have a whole lot of fights under your belt.
Calling out the scammers. He writes in a tweet, damn, Logan Paul is a scumbag. Feel bad for everyone he scammed. Now, of
Thanks,
course,
Dylan.
No one's gonna really disagree with this, so the likes rolled in. But what Dylan doesn't tell you is he also has a history of scamming people on Twitter. And what Dylan didn't know is that there was a detective watching him. That detective was not me, actually. I wish it was me. It was my buddy Zach XBT on Twitter who said, damn, Dylan Dennis is a scumbag.
Hey, this is all coming full circle. You might remember Zach from the BitBoy crypto thing. He was the guy that, like, tracked all of his moonshots and, like, called out a whole bunch of shit there.
So I reached back out to Zach and I said, hey, good tweet, but I want to find out how many scams exactly this guy has promoted. So Zach started digging through the garbage bin of deleted tweets, and we found out pretty quick there were a lot more.
What the fuck is it? Baby Dinger? What the fuck? Baby Dinger token is the next Shiba Inu. Oh man, if anyone has any baby dingers, you should immediately just lose the right to earn money in your life. You don't deserve it anymore. Ring Dinger. Hey, let's not besmirch the good name of the Ring Dinger. That's as far from Web3 crypto as you get. That is literally an old man who snaps your head off.
I wanted to trick Dylan into giving me the amount. The rough idea was to approach Dylan and say, hey, I created this dumb NFT project that's completely fake. how much would it cost for you to promote it? He gives me an answer, and I have my price. Who looked like he would be serious about selling you an NFT collection. And that's when I thought of my buddy Oompaville.
Yes.
This is a guy who's actually really sweet in real life.
I did know Oompaville played a big role in this here. So that is exciting. Very smart. CoffeeZilla recognized that Dylan would certainly say no, knowing for sure that it's a honeypot if it was CoffeeZilla that reached out. So he used Oompaville, whom, I mean, that looks like a well-adjusted man to me. Like, that's a trustworthy face right there. So he used him as the proxy. That's genius.
We can provide all the marketing copy. Please let me know, as we're trying to launch relatively soon. That website is not a real crypto NFT platform. Nothing in this video is a crypto or real NFT, so
yeah,
you cannot buy
obviously,
crypto. I want to be
sure.
super clear, because Dylan immediately responds with, want to do a tweet? And then I love this next part. What is it? I like the order of that, you know, like, let's promote it. And then underneath it, what am I promoting? And it's at this point I realized that
it's secondary.
This is not only my chance to find out how much Dylan gets paid for all these scam promotions, it's also my chance to test Dylan Dennis. In fact, to do this, I basically copied almost word for word CryptoZoo's white paper, saying the following.
Baby.
Sour.gg may appear to solely function as an NFT collection, but it's much, much more. Sour allows users to earn sweet tokens that are openly traded via a yield that is based on the rarity of a given candy NFT.
I'm going to tell you right now, Coffee, I love the attention to detail here. I think that is super smart. I'm not convinced Dylan Dennis can read. I think he might be illiterate. So he just saw words on the page and he's like, man, this is legit. All these words, they have meaning, I have no doubt. I'm in. I'm confident he had no fucking clue what anything in that white paper said. But I appreciate you went the extra mile and set it up that way for it.
Look out, adventurer. Now this is a sentence which means nothing unless you lay it out by the first letter of every word. And then it spells CoffeeZilla.
Oh!
So, don't say I didn't warn him. And obviously,
that's
even
way
if
too
I
smart for
warned
Dylan.
Dylan Dennis surely wouldn't promote a CryptoZoo project, right? Because he's, you know, he feels too bad for the victim. And then ETH? Question mark? And at this point, I'm just a little surprised by how easy this all is. Zero due diligence is
I'm not
being
surprised
done
at all.
here. We have created the weakest facade possible for an NFT scam, and he's just immediately on board. After we settled on that, he sent me payment information.
I am shocked he can even get 5K for a tweet. His Twitter isn't exactly what you'd call booming. The only time he gets engagement is when people are laughing at him. Like here, let me go to his Twitter real quick. Let's see, what's his most recent tweet? Because he deleted this one, I remember that. His most recent one is, if Alexander Volkanovsky beats... okay, it's a fight. I'll give one person who likes this tweet $1,500 and must be following to win. So he's actually having to do fucking... He has to farm. He has to do giveaway farming. But before that, it's literally nothing. And he got 8K likes on the farm. So even by those standards, that's pretty low. So I'm shocked that he's actually asking 5K. Though I doubt many people are actually giving it to him.
Dylan gave us a brand new crypto wallet just for this transaction.
Whoa!
Which seems to imply that he probably makes new wallets for every new deal he does, which is
definitely not his own idea.
And at this point, I realized I had a choice to make.
Someone told him to do that.
Take what I learned, present it to you guys, and stop this little charade I had with Dylan and make my video. And Dylan would just keep doing this because his fans wouldn't know.
Wait, what was that last one? Was that Face Writers? What the fuck? Did I read that correctly? Right before Baby Dinger.
And Dylan would just keep doing this.
Oh, I'm writing with Faceless. Gotcha. I thought that said Face Writers. I was like, damn, another fucking wild one.
Because his fans wouldn't know. Which is actually pay Dylan to post a link to our fake NFT project. But the twist would be, as soon as he posts that link, it will become a website dedicated to every scam tweet Dylan Dennis has ever done. And remember that this website would be linked by Dylan Dennis himself to all of his fans until he kept the tweet for certain periods of time. And to my surprise, he agreed to the terms. And
that's smart. That's super smart. Yeah, so space it out so that way you can get the most juice for the squeeze here off the tweet staying live. I can also promise you, Dylan Dennis has no idea what any of these words he's using here mean. He's used too much punctuation. There's 2 periods in there. That's far more than his reading level permits. He's got percentage sign in there, some underlines, parentheses. Dylan Dennis tapped out once he saw payment structure. He's like, all right, payment. I know that one. Okay, whatever else.
Website, which is just a website with all his previous transgressions. Now, I did talk to some
I want to read that one. What was that? I'm bullish on what? These all have the worst names. I'm bullish on Rock Smart Chain. Rocket Raccoon. Hype.
From ZachXBT. He found over 20 projects that Dylan promoted and then tried deleting, where many of them were rug pulls and scams. It was at this point
is I drew up a contract for Dylan to sign before this whole thing goes live.
He didn't read it.
And in it, I lay the whole thing out. And this is what I meant by headwinds. This is where he probably will catch us, because in black and white, I lay out our whole scheme right in front of him. So it literally says, like, you're gonna be the butt of the joke. It says people aren't doing due diligence.
Oh,
it says
God.
that we're going to be switching the website to show his prior promotions. So we lay out the whole thing there.
Oh,
and
no.
what we're really banking on is he's not going to read any of this. He's just going to see money and just sign it, which is the whole
100%.
point of this entire
He
thing.
can't
So
read
I
it.
think it fits.
Sending it. All right. And then I'm sending the drive link.
I mean, we've sent the contract now. We're just waiting. We're literally waiting.
Yeah.
He's going to instantly respond with the sign. It's going to be less than 2 minutes.
Oh, I agree, bro. I agree.
It was 3 minutes. I was so fucking close. I was so close.
Idiot.
That's right, ladies and gentlemen. He agreed.
I was so
and
close.
You might notice that we weren't actually able to use DocuSign and get his signature because it was experiencing outages at the moment, the actual website. But we were able to just have him do a written agreement in DMs that he agreed to our terms. And although
that is real, by the way. If you get in writing something like that, that is actually an enforceable thing. It's not as strong as like a full signature, but that is like actually enforceable. So, what a fucking moron. Holy shit.
go ahead and tweet.
Just refreshing now, I guess. See what he says.
Run
There's
it.
been so much work that goes into this. You guys didn't see this off camera. Dylan starts talking about, where's your community? So we have to whip up this community from nowhere.
Oh,
Our
fuck.
community doesn't exist. We had to create a Twitter profile. We had to buy a bunch of botted followers.
An hour ago, it didn't exist.
I don't think I've ever been so excited about something in my life.
Nice.
Dude.
What was the total spend on this, I imagine?
He tweeted it!
Huge.
I can't believe he did it.
He actually did it. He just tweeted it.
What an idiot. What? I can't believe it. What can I say?
So I knew this tidbit of information real quick before he points it out. The actual tweet just has the word scam in it. Sour NFT candies are moonbound. Scam.
Believe
It's so adorable.
What can I say?
They couldn't have made it
promoted a
any more
tweet
clear.
which literally spells out in first letters the word scam.
Yep.
I hope this is...
Oh man, Dylan. Now he's ducking CoffeeZilla and Oompaville's attempt to communicate just like he ducked KSI's fight. God damn. It's all he knows. Yeah, he'll never mention this, unfortunately. That's his modus operandi. He just is a fucking perpetual loser, I guess. Oh, I did see that. There was a lot of brain rot takes about how what CoffeeZilla did is actual entrapment. And I'm pretty sure those people are just as CTE riddled as Dylan Dennis to think that what CoffeeZilla did is anything even remotely associated with entrapment. It's not even close. CoffeeZilla did everything possible to let Dylan know what was going on. He even put in the fucking contract he agreed to that it is literally him just being a joke. It's not real. He laid out everything, and he still agreed to it. That couldn't be further from entrapment. The guy got 1K. He did get 1K. He did get $1,000 out of it, so that's a Dylan W, baby. Fucking big one from Dylan! But also lost rep. He had none to begin with. I legitimately don't think Dylan Dennis has a single fan. Like, actually not a single one. People just laugh at him. In fact, if you go to his goddamn giveaway tweet right now, People aren't even participating in the actual giveaway. They're just spamming the clown emoji. Jesus Christ. He can't even, like, actively farm children on Twitter. He doesn't have fans. Cryptocurrency has a worse reputation than chlamydia. Rightfully so, because it's almost exclusively used for scams. But crypto is a far more potent disease. It was a plague that swept through the world back in 2021. A ton of people FOMO'd, fear of missing out is what that stands for, a bunch of their money into a lot of gobbledygook that started popping up because everyone was blinded by this idea of becoming a multi-millionaire through meme coins. They were basically just putting money into imagination. They would have been better off if they just put it in the toilet and prayed that when they flushed it, more money would shoot out of it. And while crypto has largely died out in the public eye, there are still those that swear by it. And that brings us to what I want to show and talk about today. I just found it through CoffeeZilla's second channel where he was making fun of it. There was a Sheeb commercial where they were advertising some of their new upcoming features, and I'm using features lightly. And man, it's one hell of a ride. So let me take you on this journey here.
I can't believe it, Jane. My seed phrase notebook has vanished.
Seriously? Don't you know how important they are? Be honest, you didn't even write it down.
I did, Jane. I just don't know where.
I couldn't find just the raw commercial itself. I could only find CoffeeZilla's reaction to it, so I don't know where he even dug this puppy up from because it is nowhere to be found. He must have been in the actual conference itself, like fucking boots on the ground, waiting for this to drop like a trailer at E3 or something. So, the premise of the commercial is Sheeb is a meme coin. This was actually a meme coin back in 2021, where a lot of people did make a lot of money of it during this craze, this hysteria that swept through the internet, where everyone was just putting money into these meme coins. And then it collapsed, as all of them do. But it's still around, like it still exists, and there's still a lot of holders that believe that they're going to get a bag as long as they can continue to endure it. So occasionally, Sheeb will do things like this, where they kind of dangle a carrot, like, hey, keep investing, it's look at all this cool shit we're going to be doing pretty soon. This is really good stuff and it's going to work. And this is one of those attempts to convince them that it's not all lost. But you know what is lost? His seed notebook, god damn it. What's a man to do without his seed phrase notebook being kept underneath the TV? And Jane doesn't seem to recognize the importance of this. She's giving him so much attitude over this. You probably didn't even write it down. Pardon me, Harpy, didn't even write it down? This is a 21st century man. You think he doesn't write down his seed phrases in a very well-kept notebook? No. Some kind of fucking goblin came in like a burglar in the night and must have stolen it from him.
It's about self-custody, babe. If you were using Shib, then you wouldn't need that phrase unless it was an emergency.
Shib? Wait, you mean the meme coin?
Looks like you didn't get the memo. Shib is no longer just a meme, it's a whole society, John.
Yes, John. Join us in the Shib society. We're no longer just a meme. We're the most laughably pathetic meme imaginable. Holy shit, people actually buy into this. That's the saddest part. So, as CoffeeZilla talks about, there's a lot of these meme coins from back then that are trying to rebrand themselves as, hey, we're not a meme anymore, we're like super serious. When they're fucking not. It's still just as pathetic today, right now, as it was back then. Now, I actually was one of those dumb goobers who FOMO'd into like every big meme coin back then, so I actually still have a ton of Sheeb sitting somewhere, losing value by the day. And if somehow, miraculously, this thing does ever hit 1 cent, hey, I'll be pumping my fist and say, thanks, weirdos, and sell that instantly. But I don't see that happening because there's no reason for anyone to ever own shit like Sheeb. It doesn't do anything. It's literally worthless. None of these projects ever had any real use. 99% of them resulted in just being full-blown rug pulls. And collectively, most people lost a ton of money. And everyone learned their lesson. Except for those that didn't. There are still those suffering from this disease, which I'm calling blockchain derangement syndrome, where they put all this money in, and they refuse to come to terms that it's gone, and they're never going to actually make anything off these investments. They're not fucking investments. You're basically just giving a donation to the people that made these coins, where they just artificially pump up these prices through synthetic hype, and there's nothing really there, and the number goes up sometimes, they pull out, and you lose your money again. But there's people that are still letting their mind be poisoned by hopium that one day they'll be able to turn a profit on it, so they continue to just raise their flag in support of these scam coins and try their best to convince each other, just regurgitating, puking into each other's mouth, these ideas that it's shooting to the moon really soon. And this is just another one of those desperate attempts here from Sheeb to keep the investors hooked on their drug. And that drug is just losing money. It's like the worst drug imaginable.
Jane?
Gets a notification.
The notification, it's something about your dad.
What? Let me see that.
Twist.
It can't be. Impossible. It can't be.
What's happening? I don't understand.
Hold on, let's read that. With our condolences, death certificate.
Welcome to the future, bozo. Now your meme coins can tell you when your loved ones die. So the notification she gets here is about her dad passing away, and the death certificate's been signed. So what they're the feature they're advertising with this is that with Sheeb, you can now do digital wills. So when someone dies, it can instantaneously send out their Sheeb to the loved ones in their will, which is a fate so much worse than death. So Jane's father dies probably of cringe and a broken heart from owning Sheeb, and the death certificate gets signed, so now she's getting a notification that, hey, Pop's passed away. He bought the farm. Tough luck. Here's 0.5 cents of a Sheeb. Congratulations. It's what your dad would have wanted. Died with a smile on his face for this one. He passed away, but at least you can know he didn't die holding the bag. I saw a couple people in CoffeeZilla's YouTube comments say that, and that is such a banger slogan.
My dad used to have a SHIB digital will. So the only way I could get this message, this inheritance instantaneously, is if somebody verified it.
This is such a compelling performance here from the actors, and the writing is top-notch. I felt so moved during this that I almost forgot that this whole thing is just a fucking scam meme coin. I was lost in the narrative that they were so intricately crafting. Now go ahead and wipe the tears from your eyes and join me as we break this down. A digital will for Sheeb, where there's no lawyers or anything involved, there's just some kind of confirmation that someone's dead through like a signature, I believe. So in the advertisement here, she said the only way I could get this inheritance instantaneously is if someone verified he's dead. Who? It's not like Sheeb themselves have like fucking, you know, autopsy reports that they collect to confirm someone's dead. They don't go out there and actually send agents to make sure the person is really deceased. They're not omniscient. There's no way for them to know that. Anyone can sign a death certificate here as long as they have some connection to the person. CoffeeZilla mentioned like an estranged wife could easily exploit this. Really, anyone could exploit this. This is so huge for fraud. Like, this is a very easily exploitable feature they're trying to advertise here because, again, when it comes to something like this, there's a reason why it's so complicated in real life, not in fucking fantasy land with meme coins. Why you have lawyers and shit go through wills, why you have all of these barriers in place when it comes to these wills. And CoffeeZilla mentions that it's very much a headache, but it is a headache for a reason. It's probably a bit too much of a headache, like CoffeeZilla mentions, but there's a reason why it's not just like, oh, the signature confirms they're dead. Okay, now all your money's gone. When that person could very much still be alive. There's no way for Sheeb to know that because they don't have that that capability. They're not God. They don't know who's alive or who's dead. They're not Santa Claus. They don't know who's naughty or nice. All they have are these fucking blockchain baloney where they're like, contract was signed, so, well, all your Sheeb's gone to like 6 other people.
Jane, it's Mum. The hospital just called. Your father.
This is
Please
so
call me
creepy.
back.
It's so weird to do this whole commercial.
Mom, please, calm down. Listen, you're tardy to the party. You know that I'm one of those highly intellectual individuals that join the Sheeb Society, and Sheeb is so efficient, so effective, that they were able to notify me of Dad's passing way before you even contacted me. In fact, I wouldn't be surprised if Sheeb knew Dad died even before you did. So, take your time to grieve. I already know. Thank you for calling. I'm going to go buy some more Sheeb now, because it's what Father would want.
Back from the funeral, I guess.
It feels like life couldn't get any darker.
Don't say that, Jane. I understand it's a hard time, but don't put that evil out there. You're a Sheeb holder. You've been through so much worse. The loss of your father is nothing compared to the apocalyptic crash of Sheeb from 2021 to 2022 to current day. You've been through worse. You're strong.
Hold on, Jane. Dawn follows in the darkest of night. I can't take away your pain, but perhaps I can offer you a hint of joy.
Who wrote this?
You always
I've got to
know how
meet the
to lift
author.
my spirits. This is really sweet, thank you.
Now, astute observers will notice that there's not any liquid in the cup. I'm almost 100% certain there's nothing in that cup. And that's by design. That's not like an overlook or anything like that. It's because that fluid, the tea that he was going to serve her, is actually an NFT on the blockchain.
You're kidding. They demonetize my yoga channel, while those bigger channels get away with the same thing. It's not fair.
That's why we contrast with centralized platforms. That's why
What?
SHIB matters.
What?
Ship? You're turning into a Ryoshi.
The subtitles are messed up here. It actually, they're saying you're turning into a Ryoshi, who's like the founder of SHIB.
Been reading up, Jane.
Now John has fully drank the Kool-Aid. He has been fully indoctrinated into the SHIB cult. The brainwashing protocol was successful. And now he's the puppet master, and he's got Jane by the strings. This is why SHIB matters. SHIB can bring your father back. The ways of the SHIB are mysterious. It's not something the Jedi would want you to know. They have powers that are deemed unnatural, Jane. Your demonetized yoga channel? Well, that won't happen on a decentralized platform like SHIB, which doesn't exist yet, but it might. Probably never will, but if it ever did, you could be monetized there somehow through magic of the blockchain.
The blogs, the SHIB manifesto. I see the potential now. Let's take a stand here, Jane. Let's create our own decentralized yoga channel. We could likely surpass your revenue on that other platform, especially if they're going to demonetize you.
You've changed so much in just a week.
The legacy process after my grandma passing was exhausting and infuriating. When your dad passed, you got your inheritance instantly.
And that's what I cared about.
We've lost him. He's become a fully autonomous SHIB android now. And all he can do is parrot a bunch of fucking nonsense. The SHIB manifesto. I don't know what they're trying to pitch here. Some kind of platform for fucking content creators, I guess. But decentralized, because that's the #1 buzzword you have to have here in order to get people hooked on it. When it means nothing anymore, it's absolute just ass wipage. When you see decentralized now, there's no real meaning behind it. It's just one of those words that's there because all of these projects have to have it. So I don't know what they're planning with this. I don't know how they're going to monetize things. There's not going to be advertisers for it right out the gate or anything. So it'd have to come right from like the fucking SHIB founder's wallet, and you're just getting paid in SHIB schmeckles. Like, you're not going to really be getting anything. So I don't know why you're saying like, you'll probably surpass your revenue. Fucking how? With what money? What advertisers? The video hosting, if that's the direction they're going, is an impossible field to compete in because of how expensive it is. And no one's going to choose to be a SHIB creator over just posting on YouTube or something. But I love the delusion of it. It is impressive.
Thanks to Dad. And Shib.
Exactly. That's the power of what Shib is building. That's what your dad wanted us to see.
It's what he died for, Jane. He died so we could understand Shib.
I'm with him. Hail Shib.
I think that's the end of
I
the
love
commercial.
you, John.
Oh my gosh. Hail Shib indeed. And God rest the soul of Jane's father. He sacrificed himself to open our eyes to the beauty and the power of Shib. Powerful. A moving story, honestly. It's very rare for a commercial to tug on your heartstrings as effectively as this has, but again, that's the power of Shib. Now, I imagine most of you are probably asking yourself, who the fuck would buy into this? Well, a lot of people. There is a ton of people. Even if you just go on YouTube right now and just type in Shib, like Shiba Inu coin, whatever, you will find so many YouTubers still trying to pump and dump this shit to this day. They also talk about having like 1 million investors in Shib, which I don't know if it's true or not, but I think it probably is because there's so many people that just get lost in this sauce and they get convinced by scumbags like them that it's about to pop off and this is how they're going to make their fortune. It's pretty sad, but not much you can do about it. It really is just kind of this groupthink where they're all in it together, so they all buy into the same fantasy and refuse to accept that it's not gonna happen most likely. But hey, if it does, I'll be right on your side, Sheep, because I got a lot of that worthless shit sitting around somewhere. So if it ever actually does do well, that's cool for me too, I guess. But it shouldn't. It really shouldn't. It's worthless. It's trash. It's fucking garbage. But what an amazing commercial. That's really about it. So yeah. There's a scam game on Steam right now called Banana that has over 630,000 players as of me making this video right now. And it is by all definitions a scam. And that player count is pretty misleading because the majority of it is either bots or people that just have the game pulled up in the background as they wait for drops. The Spiffing Brit just made a great video going over this entire scam, and now 3 days after that video came out, it's even more popular than it was when he covered it back then. Which is so interesting to me because he fully explained how the scam works, and yet people are still just flooding in to enthusiastically buy into it. It's like if you had read the headlines about Sam Bankman-Fried like scamming billions of dollars away from just your average Joe, and then you're like, alright, I'm gonna do my business with Sam Bankman-Fried, I can't wait to get on this, and then you throw your arms up in the air like, oh, how did I lose money? Where did I go so wrong? It's more pathetic than anything, honestly. The Spiffing Brit took the scam, spanked it around, threw it on the bed, bare ass, butt cheeks in the air, and still people dove in to give it a rim job and are wondering why they have shit on their mouths now and lost money from it. You have only yourself to blame and you absolutely deserve to be made fun of, which is what I'm here to do. Heroes, not a word I like to use often, but I think what I'm doing here today is very heroic and brave. Someone has got to insult you for what you have done, if you are one of these people that are buying the fucking bananas in this game. It's not a game, it's actually just a PNG of a banana that you click and the number will go up, and every few hours you'll get a random drop. If you play anything on Steam, you know what this is, like CSGO cases, that kind of thing. But in the banana game, you get banana skins, which aren't even usable in the game. There's actually no functionality to even take that skin and use it in the game. The developer says he's going to do that at some point, but I highly doubt it because he doesn't need to. He's still just printing money from this dog shit from the absolute imbeciles, the fucking idiot buffoons that are buying into it. So why would he even bother doing that bare minimum? So what you do is you get these drops of these banana skins and they just go into your inventory and they sit there collecting dust. And then you get out all your religious relics, light some candles, and start fucking praying that someone is going to pay you real-world money for those useless banana images in your inventory. That's it. This should ring some bells here because it's very similar in concept to the NFT craze from a few years ago, where basically you buy this image and you hope that someone comes along down the line and buys that image from you for more than what you spent on it. You don't want to be left holding the bag. It's the same concept in the banana game, except this one's working significantly better because they found much more vulnerable goobers here. Gamers. So the gamers here are buying these banana skins for up to like $50. There's actually even $1,000 banana skins in this game. and I need to stop calling them skins because they're not. It's just images in your inventory. You can't even do anything with them, even if you wanted to. So you're buying these banana images from Google Images, and you are squatting on them, hoping that for some reason down the line, someone's going to pay you more for that, just because. That's the entire scam in a nutshell, and the creator is the one making tons and tons of money from it.
The banana market is immense. There are nearly 8 full pages of deep banana lore. Some of things are definitely slightly legally dubious, but the idea is very simple. As you play the game, Steam has an automatic drop system. The Icy Nana is special because it doesn't drop anymore. Wow! So logically, by it not dropping anymore, that actually increases the value of the product, because there's scarcity. However, no one has managed to sell an Icy Banana for more than 3 pence on the Steam market. Now, one of the reasons that makes me a little bit more concerned that this is a scam is because the creator of this game has set their inventory to private when it was previously public. This is a little bit of a problem because it means that it is impossible to see how many bananas hitting the marketplace are actually from them, meaning it's very hard to tell just how much Steam wallet value they're able to make off of this game.
Definitely worth noting that it's very possible the developer is dumping his bananas into the market, and it's not actually the community buying other community members' bananas, they're actually just buying his, so he's making even more. I'm not trying to accuse him of anything shady. I mean, banana is as above board and by the book as it gets. Now, it's impossible to know just how much they've made from this game so far, but I have to imagine with over 600,000 active players, it's a pretty penny. And there are legitimate people, like actual living, breathing, sentient beings that are purchasing some of the expensive bananas. Like, there's this one guy on Twitter who keeps celebrating that he bought one of the special bananas for $53. I don't know if he bought it as a shit post or if he actually believes he's going to make some money off of it or not, but regardless, that is shameful. And he's not alone. There are some banana enthusiasts that I think actually believe in this for some reason. Now, the main players of this game, no one's actually playing it because there's nothing to play. Calling banana a game is like calling me jerking off a sport. Like, yeah, it's kind of a physical activity, but I don't think there's any real argument you can make for me being an athlete because I masturbate, right? Same thing with banana. It's technically a game, I suppose, but all the people that are engaging with it are doing is running it in the background, farming drops, or having bots do it, where they open many different instances of banana in order to try and get as many chances at a rare banana drop as possible, which is why the player count is so high. Everyone loves to think that they're 5 steps ahead of everyone else. They're the fucking anime protagonist. No one else had the genius scheme to conceive such a high-level mastermind idea of using an auto-clicker and virtual machines to open multiple instances of banana to get maximum banana drop potential. Everyone that's opening this godforsaken program is doing that exact same fucking thing. And I guess none of them realize that all of those rare banana drops that are going for like tens or even hundreds of dollars in some cases are unobtainable through playing the game right now. You can't get them no matter how many virtual machines you open. You could start up an entire fucking, like, crypto mining operation just for playing banana and looking for Steam drops, and you would never see one, because it's not possible to get them anymore. I just had a voice crack. This shit is so ridiculous. The only way you get those now is if you're the developer. That seems to be it. From what I can tell, there is no evidence of any normal human being outside of the developer and his close-knit group of friends having access to those rare bananas. So to all the delusional crypto bros who got burned on NFTs and are now just suffering from terminal fear of missing out and latching onto banana, you are wasting your time and you're probably losing more money on your electricity bill just setting up your stupid little operations to farm this. You cannot make money through this game, just like you cannot get a date. It's just not happening. The only thing you can do, I suppose, is continue to get fucked by this weirdo developer as you're his little piggy bank to continue to exploit through this awful dog shit. I've said for a while now, people seem to want to be scammed. People go out of their way to get scammed. This is so blatant. And Spiffing Brit did an incredible video showcasing it, and yet it's more popular now than ever, and it only continues to get more popular. That's craziness. You know it's a scam, you're still buying into it. Now, I have seen a lot of discussion about how this game may be being used by other countries whose economies aren't doing so well, and I do suppose that's possible. We've seen that happen in the past with Venezuela in RuneScape, for example. Venezuela's economy wasn't doing great, and so a lot of individuals there started turning to farming gold in RuneScape to sell for money, and that became like full-time professions. But I just don't really see that being the case for this game. In RuneScape, you can make a lot of money just farming the gold in old school RuneScape. In Banana, you can't. The only banana images that are selling, mainly, are like the 3-cent ones, because that's all you can actually really get from drops from what I can tell. So the only things that have any real volume to them are the 3-cent skins, not so much like the rare skins. So to me it just seems very unlikely that something similar will happen here because it's 3-cent banana images that you're moving and not even all that often because the drops come at very long intervals. So it's not even something that you could really make a lot out of even if you had hundreds of bots running it. So I don't really see that being the case. I could be very wrong about that, but one thing I'm not wrong about is how much of a cringe loser you have to be to actually think that these are wise investments. If you are someone that is buying and selling banana Steam inventory images, you deserve to be spit on, 100%. Hey, this is just tough love right here, brother. I'm trying to get through to you. Please, open up. Let me in. This is an intervention. If you are buying and selling fucking banana images in this goddamn game, you are a loser, 100%, and you need to take a hard look in the mirror. This is just another terrible scam game. It's not even that unique in its scam. A lot of these style of games popped up during the NFT craze on Steam, and those all dwindled and died, of course, and I imagine this one will too when people start to realize that farming 3-cent banana skins is just not worth it at all. And buying $50 banana skins is certainly not worth it when no one's looking to buy them ever again. It's a fucking joke. It's a terrible, terrible joke that the creator's making a ton of money off of from people speculating on the market of banana images in a Steam inventory. So yeah, I just had to talk about this because it's so fucking interesting that it's only growing in popularity even after being fully exposed for the scam that it is. But anyway, that's it. See ya. Boogie2988 is not only the most manipulative YouTuber this platform's ever seen, but he's also among the stupidest as well. And this is actually one of his go-to bread and butter defense strategies anytime he finds himself in hot water. He'll always play the card of, oh, I'm not an evil person, I'm just a bumbling moron. I got zapped by an idiot beam. Timmy Turner made a wish that I'd be an imbecile and, well, that's out of my control now. I'm not a bad person. I'm just stupid, and you can't be mad at me for that. He uses this signature anime finishing move more often than Goku uses a Kamehameha to finish off an opponent. He is stupid, don't get me wrong, but he is also a bad person. Both of these things are true. And he's using this defense right now with his latest cryptocurrency scam. I wasn't even going to bother making a video talking about this because talking about any of Boogie2988's L's is like talking about taking the trash out. Who gives a fuck? It's garbage, so who cares? Everyone knows it's trash, so why even bother talking about it? Well, in this case, it's especially heinous because he actually did an interview with CoffeeZilla on CoffeeZilla's second channel, Voidzilla, where he was covering Boogie's new crypto scam. And he basically admits to it being a pump and dump, but his defense is that he was too stupid to recognize that. Like, he's too dumb to have known that this was going to be a scam that would hurt his almost non-existent audience. He has a very small pocket of people that still support him left, and he is using them like a fleshlight for a couple of fucking doubloons to pop out the other end as he puts his cock in it. It's disgusting. The Boogie298 fan club has less members than the goddamn Balan Wonderworld Enthusiast Society. Like, there's not many of them left, and now Boogie's running a cryptocurrency scam directly at them, yet denying that he's trying to scam his fans, saying that it's obviously just a joke for his fans to point and laugh at. This is mainly meant to target millionaire crypto bros who can kind of just get fucked. It's also worth mentioning that he was paid $10,000 to promote this fatty token meme coin by a very shady group. But I'm sure that's not important. I'm sure that 10,000 doubloons is all just part of the joke. It's all in good humor at the end of the day. I'm sure that had nothing to do with Boogie's involvement here. Now, I do believe that a lot of people that did put money into this were just hoping that they could dump the bag on even bigger idiots that bought into it trusting Boogie, because there are still people that do have faith in Boogie as a creator and as just a genuine person. I don't know how that still lingers after the documentary that's been dropped about him, where he did his absolute best to make himself look like an insufferable asshole, as well as the numerous other controversies he's found himself in, but there is definitely still a community that rallies behind him. And I have no doubt a lot of people that put money into this were hoping that that community would also put money in so they could dump it onto them. And maybe they were able to, maybe they weren't, but right now it looks like everybody, except for those on the inside, have lost money. You posted a video on your own channel called Fatty, because the name of his token, his scam shitcoin, is called Fatty. He posted the video on his channel. That's for your audience, Boogie. You posted it directly to them. Of course, some of them are going to buy into it because they still have some level of trust in you for whatever delusional reason that might be, but that's definitely broken by now, I imagine. He also just can't dedicate himself to just one excuse here, so he's trying to cover all of his bases so he doesn't look like an evil, manipulative piece of shit here. So he's constantly flip-flopping. So first he was kind of just on the nose about it, like posting tweets saying like he's fucked anyway, so might as well get some money out of it on the way out. You know, hashtag fatty, stuff like that. And then he's like, well, no, this was actually just for the crypto bros, and I'm not going to lose sleep over them losing money. I was upfront about you putting money into this, and you're probably going to lose it. That's the joke. So I don't care if you bought in. And his most outrageous one is where he tries to spin this as an actual useful, not scam service, where it's like, oh, this is actually just a really cheap way for the community to buy into my presence. It's going to be a community hub for all of us to kind of just like hang out. So you're kind of paying just to be a part of the community. Like, he's trying every possible excuse to avoid wrongdoing, even though he's fundamentally admitted that it's a pump and dump scheme that he's behind here, which is a crime. It's illegal. You can't do that. Maybe putting it into Magic the Gathering terms will help you understand it to wrap your fucking noodle around it. You're ignoring cards' mana costs, and in response, everyone hates you. You can't do that, Boogie. I watched a clip of a podcast Boogie's on once, and of course he always rants about how everyone's always out to get him. He's not a bad guy. Everyone else is evil for attacking him. He's not the bad guy. He's not the villain of the story. And my name got brought up. And he then went on to say that I want to see him dead. I'd rather see him buried 6 feet under than see him succeed, or something to that effect. Which is, of course, a load of horseradish, but it's a really interesting take, how Boogie perceives things. And I don't know if he truly believes this, or if it's just a classic Boogie drumming up sympathy kind of thing through lying. But I don't want to see you dead, Boogie, at all. I want to see you stop being a piece of shit scammer who manipulates his audience and constantly lies. That's what I want. That's what the majority of people would like to see. A triumphant story about how you finally took some responsibility for your own actions, grew from them, learned from them, and actually stopped being the asshole that you are. I'd like for you to come forward and stop lying about everything. So like in this situation, just taking it on the chin and openly admitting that you pump and dump scammed your audience. Just say like, hey guys, I fell on difficult financial times and yeah, I took advantage of you. You kind of tiptoed around that in the CoffeeZilla video, but you're not saying it with your whole chest anymore and making up excuses for it, even though it's an inexcusable thing that you've done. You should then refund everyone that lost money in this shitcoin scam that you've pumped. And then you should be working towards actually making things right and stop being the lying, manipulative asshole that you are. I don't want to see you dead, Boogie, and you know that. That's a very gross thing to say, to make that claim, and you know how fucking disgusting that is, which is why you say it. But I want to make it very clear right now. What I want is for you to stop being a lying manipulator. I'm going to play a little bit of his announcement video for this, because he really stands by that it's all just supposed to be a joke for his community, supposed to bring them together to laugh at the parody of Andrew Tate, where he's playing Andrew Cake, and it's all part of the joke. But that excuse doesn't work, Boogie, when you actually launch a shitcoin alongside your satirical take on shitcoins, for your audience to actually lose money on, you dumb buffoon.
Fatty is a community for like-minded individuals that are broken free from the matrix. True happiness comes from a goldfish, from the same woman a couple of nights a month, and the occasional meme coin. Fatty for life.
Fatty for life, yeah! Look at this graph. Looks like every other rug pull shitcoin that ever entered the market. But Fatty for life, yeah! Boogie's the champ! He's the king! Who cares how many of his audience lost money on this? He does his absolute best to deny that that's a possibility at all. I'll go ahead and go through his pinned tweet because he's been, of course, on Twitter, as he is known to do, having meltdowns, doing his best to justify indefensible actions that he takes. So here's his big manifesto on the Fatty debacle. An iconic Boogie intro here to the tweet. This is just so on brand for him. Classic. In the last few days, I have learned a lot about the internet, myself, and crypto. For those that don't know the Boogie lore, he also lost almost all of his money in crypto well before this, so even knowing just how dangerous it is to buy into this kind of shit, he still promotes it to his audience, even though he himself is the victim of losing tons and tons of money in crypto dog shit. But yeah, it doesn't matter to him. Since it's not him losing money this time, why would he care? My intent by launching a meme coin was to make people laugh and happy. I also wanted to give millionaires who like meme coins a new toy to play with. It doesn't have use, Boogie. The only thing they can play with is watching the graph go down. The only thing they're playing with is your balls as you teabag them with this scam. I also wanted to create a community among those people to interact with as I have through the LolCow Live community. To say I missed the mark is an understatement for sure. But some of the people that are angry for some weird reasons. This never targeted fans, in quotes. In the 90 seconds this was available on websites, a casual fan could not have created a Coinbase account, get verified, figure out how to buy Solana, which is a chore in itself, to then purchase a meme coin. It is literally impossible. That process takes hours, sometimes days. You are so unbelievably wrong, you know that. You are blatantly lying. I also don't understand why it's inconceivable for him to imagine that some of his fans already have Solana and have Coinbase accounts, because a lot of people do. Cryptocurrency isn't some like fringe unheard of thing anymore. It's a very mainstream thing people have been hearing about for fucking years, so a lot of them do have accounts and they could easily buy this in the 90 seconds it was available. This targeted my fans only to have them point and laugh at the absurdity of the character, the video, and the idea that anyone would trust me for crypto advice. If the whole idea behind it, Boogie, was to just provide an entertaining video, why actually launch the shitcoin? Why even give them the opportunity to buy into something that you yourself know is worthless? You're open about how worthless it is and that it's just a waste of money. One of his early tweets is about how you shouldn't invest money in it. That's the way that he's trying to like hand wave his responsibility to his audience here by saying, well, he warned them not to put money into it, so it's kind of their fault. Why even give them the option? If the whole point was just to give them something to laugh at, why give them something to immediately lose money on, Boogie? That's so weird. That doesn't seem like it'd be a good part of the joke, having them lose money too. That seems to get rid of the joke. It's almost as if it wasn't a joke to begin with. And you're using that as a convenient excuse to try and make it seem like it was never the intention to make money off exploiting your fans. I did, however, want to target crypto bros who play with meme coins all day, every day. Looking at the wallets that bought and sold this coin, it's clear that is the only people who played with this coin. Many of them holding tens of millions of Ethereum and Bitcoin, they wouldn't miss the tens of dollars they might have lost, but many more made money than lost, it appears. What a hero. You're such a hero of the people, Boogie. Regardless, I still believe those same crypto guys might find value in this coining community, and I hope they do. For those holding, I plan to keep chatting with you guys and chilling with you for as long as you think it's fun. To the rest of the internet, I am not sorry for getting involved in a dumb shit meme coin. I eject the idea that I was ever scamming fans, and that simply did not happen, period. Look at the wallets for proof of that. I still think a meme coin can be a funny and amusing distraction for people who have far more money than they know what to do with, and I hope we can continue to fuck around with this dumbass coin. That is just chef's kiss standard Boogie meal right there on his Twitter dog shit that he serves on the plate. Just absolute nonsense, lying out of his ass, trying his absolute best to come out of this looking like the good guy. Well, I've learned a lot about myself, the internet, and crypto. Yeah, there were some shortcomings. I missed the mark, but you're actually all wrong because I'm not a bad guy. That was never the intention. Also, those crypto bros that I said can get fucked and I won't lose sleep over, well, actually, I'm hoping they find real value in this because I'm also like a hero to the crypto bros as well as my community because I never targeted my fans. Yeah, I uploaded it to my YouTube channel, but that was only because I wanted them to laugh at the character, not actually put money into it. I mean, that was never part of the plan, but because they put money into it, now there's a great community, which was always the intention the entire time. It's just absolute ramblings of a madman doing his absolute best to try and avoid looking like the bad guy. And in doing so, he always looks even more of a bad guy. In the interview he did with CoffeeZilla, he mentions his cancer diagnosis. Boogie has a form of cancer and he is on hard times financially, a lot of it because of his crypto investments, which now he's running one of his own. And he talks about how the money that he got, like the $10,000 to promote this, immediately went into like his medical his medical needs. And he uses this as a shield, where it's like, oh, you know, this is going on, thus it shouldn't be a problem that I scam people, because I need the money. There's plenty of other ways of making money though, Boogie, besides just scamming your audience. Like there was, for actual years, you had so many other opportunities to make money and actually not be a piece of shit. But you have time and time again made the worst possible decisions, not only for yourself, but for those around you, and you have constantly dug yourself deeper and deeper holes. And now you keep posting tweets, deleting tweets, where you're doing this Jekyll and Hyde thing about how, oh, I might be going to jail anyway, so I'm going to take money on the way out. Buy Fatty Coin. And then into this where it's like, actually, I'm such a good guy. Like, we were just making a community and you guys are getting mad for weird reasons. I'm misunderstood. It's crazy because you can actually trace Boogie's spiral to his Twitter activity. The frequency in which he used Twitter directly correlates with the frequency at which he lost subscribers. As he used Twitter more, his YouTube subscribers went down more and more because he kept letting the mask slip at the really awful person behind the facade that he puts on YouTube. He could not stop himself from saying the most revolting things and being the most unlikable asshole through Twitter. He was addicted to it. And he recognized so many times that if he just deleted Twitter, his life, his online career would have been in a much better spot. But he just can't help himself. And to this day, still can't help himself. Here's his most recent tweet, for example. I learned years ago that if I fart in public, Mudahar will make a video saying I gave people cancer. I'm pretty much free to do whatever I want because even when I try to do something nice, people say I ate a baby or something. In standard Boogie fashion, making himself the victim of everything imaginable. Somehow he's the victim in this pump and dump crypto scam that he's running here because Mudahar made a mean video about him. Oh man, it doesn't matter what I do because people are just going to say that I ate a baby or something. Mudahar is going to insult me no matter what. So what, I did a crypto pump and dump doesn't mean Mudahar needs to be nasty and rude about it. I can't even remember the last time Boogie2988 did something genuinely nice without it being something to benefit him personally. I can't think of it. And it's certainly not this crypto scam. There's no way you're going to sit there and actually try and say that this meme shitcoin that you've started is somehow a nice thing that you don't deserve to be getting insulted for. That's absolute lunacy. You yourself have said multiple times how worthless this is and you shouldn't be putting money into it and that you're basically stupid if you do. Like, and you're going to try and sit here and make a claim like, oh, even if I do something nice, they're just going to say I'm bad anyway. You're not doing anything nice. You are literally scamming your audience. No matter how much you want to plug your ears and close your eyes to deny that fact, you are. You have. You are scamming them with this. He also keeps saying that he hasn't sold any of his Fatty Coin, and it doesn't matter. Even if you really haven't sold any, I don't know why you'd sell now since it's completely flatlining, but even if you haven't sold any even when it was up, it doesn't change the fact that it's still a pump and dump scam and someone made a lot of money from this. The people that paid you to promote this in the first place. You did make 10,000 doubloons from the promotion of it. So you did make money from it. Even if it isn't from the direct sale of the coins that you hold, you still made 10 grand, which is a lot more than any one of your fans that bought into this trusting you. But anyway, I don't need to rant any further about this. If you want actual information about the scam, I highly recommend checking out Voidzilla's video or Mudahar's coverage of this. They both did a great job going over everything around it. I'm just here to talk about what a manipulative, stupid asshole Boogie2988 is, and how baffling it is that he keeps finding new ways to devolve even further into degeneracy. It's shocking. That's really about it. So yeah.